light and Stonewall. You look at people like Diddy. If nobody defended him, no one protected him, nobody wanted anything to do with him because of his horrible misconduct, the percentage of predators would probably drop half. Because if predators didn't feel safe or safer with people who enable, there wouldn't be as many predators preying. I mean, if you knew that you didn't have an audience that would protect you, believe you, and hide you, and defend you, very few people would risk praying. We live in a society, secular and religious, that believes that sending a 21-year-old white male convicted of rape to prison isn't worth it because it would ruin his life. I mean, going to prison doesn't ruin your life. It's a symptom of you ruining your own life. And if you commit a violent felony, which preying on people is a felony, then I think people who enable abuse are worse than the abusers. Because now they're a compliant accessory during and after the fact. It's kind of like somebody finds out that their spouse or someone they know committed murder, so they help cover it up. You still go to prison for 25 years. You don't get the death penalty, and you don't get life in prison without parole usually, but you do go 25 years to life. Because covering up murder and enabling people to get away with murder is a crime. It's the same thing with people who cover up sexual violence. And if you have to wait until someone actually makes contact with your body to divorce by hitting, slapping, punching, it's already too late. If somebody consistently verbally accosts you or verbally treats you like crap, that's enough to divorce. If you don't feel as though you're being cherished and respected, heard, and protected, those are legitimate reasons to divorce. I'm not saying you have to. I hope you would, because everybody deserves better. And what's really terrifying is the majority of women on this planet don't believe they deserve better. Women are the most notorious and consistent enforcers and enablers of toxic patriarchy. Older women teaching younger women to be somebody's arm candy is not okay. I mean, it's understandable if you grew up in a world where this is normal and it's normalized, but just because something's normalized doesn't make it right. And churches love escaping legal consequences. They will go to court to challenge mandatory reporting of CSA and SA instead of admitting that they messed up. Anyone with integrity wouldn't go to court to try to get out of a legal action that said you should have reported it. You didn't. A moral person wouldn't be in that mess to begin with. But if they were, they would take accountability, accept the punishment they deserve, and go to prison or pay a lawsuit. People who have no integrity, no accountability, will go to court and say, well, I want to challenge the law that I have to mandatory report. There should be no challenge. Anyone should report a crime. You don't even have to be in a position of authority to report a crime. In my opinion, if you know a crime is going on and you have enough evidence to prove that it's going on and you don't report it, I think you, or whoever the person is, should be sued and go to prison. You don't have to be a pastor, a teacher, a professor, or someone like a doctor to be forced to tell. I'm glad there are laws that mandatory require reporting. But if you have to have a law tell you, oh, I need to report, you're not a good person. You're a potential predator yourself, because people who protect and enable predators are predators. They're just a different kind of predator. And not all predators prey in the physical sense. Some predators don't warn people that they're entering a church that's known for centering men's pleasure, men's access, men's privilege over a woman being comfortable. And anyone who isn't disturbed about someone not being comfortable isn't a good person. And if you have to have a law to tell you to report a predator preying, you should not be near any kids. You should not be in any position of authority or have any form of a platform. It's that simple. And churches, some of the most well-known churches in America, 2 of them actually gave advice to up to 8 presidents, were known for covering up abuse. John MacArthur, Dr. James Dobson. There are documented cases of these kinds of people who called out survivors for reporting. Now, you don't have to report a crime if it's happening to you. That is up to your discretion. I hope every survivor does, but I don't blame people based on the kind of enabling and gaslighting that religions and other people in society project at them. But in my opinion, if you have any children involved in the situation, you better be reporting it. And if you can't report it, tell someone so they can report it. And in my opinion, they need to start making laws that is mandatory prison time for people who don't report abuse. And in my opinion, I would always go to the police before I go to my church. Not that I have a church anymore, because I'm an atheist. But one of the reasons why I converted to atheism is because of how little empathy major religions treat women or set women up to be stuck in these situations. I'm not saying that there aren't good churches out there, moral, decent, religious people. I'm saying that there is enough of a majority of bad people out there that use these institutions to prey and to silence survivors. And it's not something that should happen. But anytime you have cis, white, heterosexual men in charge, you have the highest chance, the best fertile ground for abuse. Because where there's a lot of white men in charge, there's usually some form of dehumanization of other groups. I mean, you look at the most famous American hate groups in America. Most of them are made up exclusively of white people. And in this country, a man can spread hate, dehumanize people that don't meet traditional gender roles or religious gender expectations. A man can say horrible things about Martin Luther King, talk about Taylor Swift like they're nothing but a future husband's slave, talk about African Americans like they're less than, unfortunately die, and then they erect museums, monuments, and glorify this person who spread hate. And the person who did